Hi, I'm Xander Snyder, and you're watching First American's Inside Look. Chances are, if you follow economic news, you've heard of the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, as well as the Personal Consumption Expenditure Index, or PCE. These are both indices that measure inflation using different methodologies. However, you may be less familiar with the Producer Price Index, or PPI. Now, at a very high level, the PPI measures the prices received by producers for goods, whereas the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, measures the prices paid by consumers for goods. And while this distinction may seem a little technical, there are some differences that I won't go into right at this moment. However, unlike the CPI, the PPI has thousands of sub-indices, which measure all sorts of goods and services, including repairs and maintenance expenses for commercial properties. These are often referred to as R&M expense. Now, this R&M PPI subindex provides insight into expense trends faced by commercial property owners and operators today. So let's take a closer look at this R&M PPI subindex. With rent growth slowing across all asset classes, property managers are now focusing on limiting expense growth in order to maintain net operating income margins. On an annual basis, repairs and maintenance expenses have declined for 6 months for both non-residential and multifamily properties. In the latest release of the PPI from July, that rate of decline was 4.2% for non-residential properties and 3.3% for multifamily properties. At face value, that's fairly encouraging. After R&M expenses surged during the pandemic, they've now not only leveled off, but declined for the last 6 consecutive months. However, that year-over-year growth hides the accumulated growth in R&M expense that did occur during the pandemic. To get a better sense of this accumulated growth, we can look at the R&M PPI index levels themselves, rather than the year-over-year growth rate. In this chart, the total cumulative growth in R&M expense can more clearly be seen. Compared to pre-pandemic, R&M expenses are now 31% costlier for multifamily properties and 34% costlier for non-residential properties. While this increase in cost has been offset somewhat by high rent growth over the same period, there's no avoiding the fact that R&M is more expensive now than it was 3 years ago. Interested in learning more about commercial real estate expense trends? Check out the latest X Factor on First American's Econ Center. It's called Why Operating Costs for Commercial Properties Have Soared. Additionally, I'll be giving a talk on the state of the commercial real estate market, as well as a 2024 outlook, in Milwaukee on September 20th and in Miami on October 12th. If you're interested in attending either, please reach out to your local First American representative.